Hi.
Know each other. Okay, good.
Yes.
Perfect.
I am Dee Dee Aldrich, and this is my great friend, best friend, Susan. And we are here at her art gallery, and she's showing her beautiful pieces so that we all can capture a glimpse of her art. Now, this is a beautiful piece. What is
It's called adolescent angst and maturity, and it's signifying. Well, first of all, how I started it was with a piece of paper that's totally treated with charcoal, and how you get your final product is actually by deducting from the charcoal. So it was actually the next step. I was grooming myself towards taking a sculpting course, and this like pretty much catapulted me into the form,
Wow.
the art form of sculpting.
Now, he has a very unique face. Can you tell us a little bit more about him?
Actually, this is the subject material came from a movie that I was watching. It's a childhood story about a young boy who gets a horse, and it actually ends in a tragedy. He goes out to sea with the horse and ends up dying.
Wow.
But I fell in love with the way the boy looked, and this is basically the boy in the movie, and that's pretty much what came out on paper.
You can actually see the anguish and the expression on his face. It's just so unique and beautiful. And you said it was related to another piece? Now, this is the other piece. And could you explain his character and who he is and how you created him?
This subject material came from a movie. It's called Before Night Falls. I'm really into foreign pictures.
Foreign movies,
Obviously.
Yes.
And Before Night Falls is about, it's a true story about a famous poet. It takes place in Cuba. And this is the rendition of the main character in the movie. And it signifies maturity compared to the other drawing or etching that's more like adolescent angst.
Yes.
This is like a mature figure who has himself together a little bit more, well, much more, and he's more grounded in where he's at, and it doesn't have as much of a struggle as the other piece.
I see. So basically, that is the child painting over there, and when we reach here, that his adolescence and his maturity.
Yes.
Okay, that's beautiful, gorgeous, and that again is made from charcoal.
Yes, charcoal. It's like a charcoal treated piece of paper, and how you get your final product is by like etching out the eraser,
Right.
what you're trying to maintain.
Oh, that's awesome.
When I'm sculpting, I like to work in deduction instead of addition.
Oh, that's
And
interesting.
I mean, my goal is to get into more types of sculpture,
Right.
like actually casting, like
Yes.
bronze casting and stuff like that down the road. I can't
So,
wait to.
so you really enjoy using your hands to create.
and take away. I like the deduction factor
That's
instead of the
nice.
addition.
Okay.
So this.
Wow.
This is.
As we approach this one design, it's called The Power of Prayer. It's just a magnificent piece with purple and gold, and seems to be a man's face. Now, can you tell me, first of all, what is it made from?
This is made from recycled cardboard, and it's all paper.
Oh, wow.
So the behind it is all like newspaper, crumbled up like newspaper.
Okay.
And it has hot glue on it. I mean, I laboriously went through the process of creating this. I had this actually out on my butcher's block table at like 2 a.m. working on this at home. So it wasn't only classwork, it was also, a lot of homework.
Yes, that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Why purple and gold? And can you elaborate a little bit more about
Sure. The purple and gold. Well, the purple signifies royalty, and gold is like pureness.
Right.
So, I mean, hence the title, like the power of prayer. It just gives like that. It definitely zones in and hones in on the transformation of what can happen in your life
Right.
when you pray.
That's great.
So the power of prayer, this like basically signifies, this is actually, believe it or not, a self-portrait of me. And I know like you might not be able to tell, but it actually is. But what came out of it is this.
Is it harder to do your art creations with charcoal, or is it harder to do paint? Is there any? Do you prefer charcoal over paints? Or sculpting? I mean,
Actually, I'm really into the sculpting at this point because charcoal and drawing and painting is like only one dimensional. The sculpting is most exciting for me because it's like, you know, you have all the angles. You have you're able to encumber every single angle.
That's great.
So it's just like, it's so exciting because you got whatever angle you want. And in a one-dimensional, you only have one view.
Right.
In sculpting, you have you have as many views as your heart desires. And I mean, we could take it to the next one right here.
Oh, this is great.
Very intimate little sculpture. It's I Will Never Leave You or Forsake You. And this was made of plaster. And this signifies, this is God. This is the triune Godhead. It actually signifies, and you could see it right here, there's 3 different marks, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And this is God looking down on man right here. And God is embracing man. And this is his quote directly to man, "I will never leave you or forsake you."
Now, one of her pieces over here, it's a beautiful saying. It says, "Climb every mountain." And that is so true.
There's the bear, and I wanted it to look like a baby grizzly bear. It's really solid, and it's totally plastic. And I added the piece of cypress wood, which is like shaped like a mountain, basically. So I had him climbing every mountain, and that's what the title is, Climb Every Mountain. It's a fun piece, but the thing about it is that it's really solid and grounded, and that's what I've learned in sculpting, that all of my pieces, I like them to be like solid and grounded. I don't like anything wishy-washy,
Right.
as you know. So this is what came out of it. So here's the next one.
Okay. Now this one says "Dogs with Lips," and it's under ceramics, and it's a beautiful piece, very unique.
It had to be an anthropomorphic piece. The definition of anthropomorphic is like, you know, an animal with human tendencies. So what I did with this piece was I sculpted out through clay a piece that's my dog, mimicked after my dog.
After your dog.
Which my dog is like a Schnauzer mixed with a Basset Hound.
Oh
as
my
you know.
goodness, yes.
So it's my
Very
little
unique.
dog Zeba interspersed with my lips.
Oh, how sweet is that?
So hence that's what came out of it.
Dog with lips. That's
Okay.
an awesome piece. So we're going to move on. So we captured all of Susan's pieces that she wished to display. And
Let's get my family.
yes, okay.
Yeah. This is my family here, my mom and dad and my niece and nephew. And thanks for your support and your motivation